Outstanding.
Welcome again to another tutorial video. It's a boy Eldorado and Ting. Today I'm going to show you one of the techniques I'm really use to get clean EQ'd vocals or clean vocals overall. There's a particular technique to it where much people don't really know about because uh, you know, yeah. But for beginners or inexperienced mixers, not really experienced to the tier of in which they can make self-righteous decisions. So um, I'm here to demonstrate this song by Plan Boss. If me not have money, you can check it out on Audio Mac, Deezer, and Spotify, Apple Music, etc. etc. You can check out the full version I sang. So it's just about the lead vocal scene. First and foremost, you don't really want to record the vocals. Too hot. It can cause a lot of problems. However, let me see if I can switch over this and go up here. So, when I'm recording, I change my metering settings because this type of meter for me, when recording, it is quite hard to read. You see, so for me, if you make life easier, me right click and change it to the K12 metering and record minus 12. No, my recording levels, should I say, minus 12. So that is one of the key things that I keep in mind when recording. If you have enough headroom to mix the vocals, to get the vocals loud and get it in a really pristine condition before it goes off for mastering. So say for instance that I record the vocals hot. What I would do is use a trim plugin from Pro Tools and trim it down. As you can see, this is was a bit too hot, and I trimmed it down 4 decibels. So let me bypass this and everything on here and play the vocals only. Let me swallow up the lead vocals.
Have money, better get up.
Turn off the effects. Leave this on.
Have money, better get go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money the footy.
As you can hear, there's a lot of headphone bleed on this particular recording. However, me deal with that. But as I say, me turn off the plugins. Anyways, beyond that, still, what I did, I told you.
Have money, better get go left. When you see a star run, you never know.
It is pretty hot because it's over 12. So what I did, as I told you, I turned it down. It's a trim is a mono plugin. If you're going to use it on a stereo bus, you have to use it the multi mono. You go here, you go to stereo. This is stereo, multi-channel plugin stereo, and you won't see it up here. But if it's a case where you go multi mono, Avid, and you will see it because it's a mono plugin, so you won't see it there. So I trimmed it around 4 dB. So let me play it, make you see.
Have money, better get go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money the footy world.
So as you can see, it peaks over 12, yes, but not all the time. It's just like when he says very loud words, it peaks over it. But with a little bit of click gain, if it's out of control and you trim most of it below 12, you can clip gain it. So what I do personally or more while when clip gaining stuff like a whole section, I would zoom in, track, go to view, clip gain line, and you see the line. So for instance, you kind of chop up certain way for argument's sake. So we can go in and turn down the clips and turn them up individually. So say that's not the case. Undo that. After I clip gain all the time, would normally go and turn it back off because I don't really want it. Screen can get really distracting. Sometimes depends on how your session look. Especially if you have sessions like these, you can you can easily get lost in sessions like these. But I have more dynamic sessions than this. This is pretty simple to me with about uh whoa, that number 69 tracks. Why for that? Anyways, beyond that, we are Jamaicans, and we all know what that number means. So, why for that? Anyways, moving on beyond that, one of the plugin I changed since 2019 or mid 2019, the second quarter of 2019, should I? Second, third, no, the third quarter of 2019 here. I kind of start using this plugin because I'm a fan of Andrew Sheps. So this particular plugin is made up of things that Andrew Sheps really use on a day-to-day basis, and I'm a big fan of Andrew Sheps' work on his mixing techniques. However, whenever I took the time when I took the online courses on mixing, I didn't find anything suitable pertaining to dancehall music. But this guy did something on mixing Ziggy Marley or Kimani Marley, one of those songs, Fly Rasta, and that is where and when me really start to pick up on a lot of things in mixing. So, however, I love the work that this guy do, and this plugin is one of his finest masterpiece that we can really find. However, babbling about that. Anyways, what I did first, let me.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left.
Alright, that's the vocal, and this is it with it.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star, you no never know yet. When money the a footy wall, you no come take. As the money gone, everybody start left.
Alright, first and foremost, I added some saturation to it, make it even saturation, and I filtered around 70k. 70? No, I'm getting that wrong. 70 hertz. 70k, that's crazy. 70 hertz. That's what I filter off first. Me turn them off.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star, you no never know yet. When money the a footy wall, you no come take.
So I got rid of some of the rumbling in which adding harmonics or saturation to this particular vocals. Not saying it will and will not work for other particular vocals, but what I did was I added it to it. We kind of give it a little smooth, a little bit of smoothness, and taking off what I don't really need. But you have to really be careful with this saturation plugin because you can overdo it easily, because you're adding it, you're not really hearing it, but it's affecting the vocals overall or whatever you put it on. But still, you want to keep it as transparent as possible. If you're mixing for somebody, you can add color to it, but it not supposed to be that obvious. But if you're doing it for yourself, now that a different business. However, most of the songs that I'm mixing is for this production label, so we can try stuff, may present it to the artist, and voila. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. Anyways, beyond that same way, I added an EQ. So no, before I move on to the EQ, me turn off this back.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star, you no never know yet. When money the a footy wall, you no come take. As the money gone, everybody.
So as you can hear, it really comes up in your face. That's what I'm saying. You can easily overdo it. So you have to be mindful of that. I added about 26% or 27% for argument's sake, and I filtered off 70 hertz. Next, I move on with a EQ with all of the harmonics module enabled, the mid-high mid, high, tone, and low. Yeah, kind of weird when we say that. But beyond that, still, I think my headphone is a little bit too loud. I'm gonna want to really quiet and me talk low. So I'm not currently using a compressor with this preamp I have. It's not a channel strip, it's just preamp I'm using with this top box microphone. Beyond that, I added a high filter with a 1.4 dB gain at currently say 10,000 10,000 or 10K, and the mids I boosted it at 2 dB at 3.6 or 3.65 kilohertz, and the lows kind of duck out about almost 2 dB at 340 if we get rid of some of that low mids frequency where kind of sometimes helps box up the vocals a little bit, but I don't really want to take out too much of it, because taking out too much of the low mids where the boxy tone mostly they can affect your vocal and let your vocal sound really thin, and it can make it sound a really depends on the space on the microphone. It can really make you sound really what you call it, boxy. But taking out too much of it can make your vocals thin and vulnerable to you adding stuff where never really necessary if you never make that wrong judgment. So you have to really watch your low mids. So you want your low mids right and sounding nice and all of these things. But however, you still want to watch your low mids them and not thin out your vocals. It can also happen with the high pass filters. You can really use that and even thin out the vocals, because down there the body of the vocals really lie. So you don't really want to take away too much of that. You just take away the unnecessary things and leave everything else as is. So you don't really mess around with the body of the song that much. Moving on, I added some lows to add body to the song, because I've taken out some of the low mids, so I boosted some of the sub frequency of the vocals or bass frequency of the vocals to get back a little bit body on the vocals before I do any other processing. So with the EQ, it sounds like this.
If me no have money, better gyal go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money the footy.
Without the EQ.
If me no have money, better gyal go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money the footy walla uno come take. As the money gone, everybody start left. If me no have money, better say she not stay.
Alright, so as you can hear, a little bit rumbling in the low of the free lows, but we get onto that in a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna take off the plug-in because I really want to show you. Sometimes you can't really deal with these things. Anyways, there are two ways you can deal with it. You can do it by RX, using isotope RX to cut out those headphone leaks, or if the speakers are near to the booth, it can let vibration go through the floor onto the mic stand, up in the microphone. See, so that's why it is best if you get boom microphone stand and really watch the placement of the speaker, where the microphone is and how loud the speaker is when tracking. For me, when I'm tracking, I like to turn down my speaker, but sometimes it depends on the instrumental too. Sometimes these instrumentals are very bass heavy, so when you turn it down and things say alright, whenever you're mixing and solo up things, you really can hear some other little things. So yeah. Moving on, I added a compressor. I added compression to it. So normally when I'm using this to add compressor, I change it to gain reduction, so we can see how much I'm reducing in compressing, and use makeup gain if necessary, or if me really just want it compress, because sometimes you compress and use makeup gain and really sound right, and sometimes you just want to compress the vocal so it sound really thin and there are different levels to compression, but compression is one of the hardest thing to really catch on to when mixing, because not everyone can hear compression and not everyone can feel compression. But people have a tendency to use compressor but not feeling the compressor or not hearing the compression or knowing the color or the characteristic of a compressor. So a lot of young mixing engineers will find compression one of the most difficult things to really get onto, like myself. You know, with some sort of compressors, the coloring is a bit weird and not pleasing to my ear, but to others, I see they use it and it sounds magnificent on the records that they're mixing. So, each to his own, but as I said, doing compression is one of the most difficult things um, young mixing engineers can really face. This video, I think with the Lord's lecturing, I think it's going to be a bit long. Um, Sorry. Anyways, beyond that, uh, playing it with the compressor.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money the footy wall a uno come take. As the money gone, everybody start left.
Alright, so a compressor is around 5 dB. So for instance, I'm really bypass this now. I'm going to play without it.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money the footy wall a uno come take. As the money gone, everybody start left.
Alright, so what this compressor is doing is it brings it up, yes, in amplitude, but what it do, it compress the lower peaks and bring up the lower one. So whenever I use this the optical module settings in, so how am I really explain this? Optical compressors, I think it has something to do with tubes. Yeah, really deep on top of my head, but I'm thinking about it, but me actually know. But yeah, explaining it, it can be quite difficult. Anyways, I have the optical settings in module on. Normally, I would use FET for this part for male vocals. I don't know why I like FET compressors and male vocals, but anyways, for this particular vocal, I wasn't feeling that FET settings. So what I did, I switched between these three, and the optical setting seems best for this particular vocal. I always stress things for this particular vocal. I'm not gonna say, hey, this is right for male vocals. Hey, this is right for aggressive vocals. No, sometimes some plugins or some things don't really work well where you use all the while. Sometimes it needs something else. Sometimes you're mixing and you say, why me not really feel it as how me perceive to be feeling it. Sometimes I just different color them need. Anyways, beyond that, yeah, I let the ratio steer to 3 to 5, somewhat compressing and not using the soft settings. I use 5 millisecond, yeah, milliseconds. So after every 5 milliseconds, it starts to compress when it go above the threshold. So normally I would use 10 milliseconds or 15 milliseconds, somewhere in between. But for this particular vocal, I tend to use 5, and for this one, I use 100 milliseconds release time. So it's pretty fast release and no make game with 100% mix. So for instance, I'm compressing and compensating for that compression that I'm compressing. So I'm going to turn up the output of the compressor to compensate for what I'm compressing at this gain reduction.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money the footy wall a uno come take. As the money gone, everybody start left. If me no have money, better say she nasty. She a go lift up like jet a gas space. When money the food in a glass case. As the money gone, everybody gone scarce. Watch it, me coulda kick this a different way. Different gal every different day. By the time you feel left, next gal get stay. But me no if me no have money, better gal a go left. We no see a star run, no never know yet. When money there, footy wall a no come take. As the money gone, everybody start left. If me no have money, better say she not stay. She a go lift up like jet a gas space. When money there, food in a glass case. As the money gone, everybody gone scarce.
However, the input, the amount that is coming in the input, it is going out higher. So to really balance it out and push more gain after compressing, it would cost a lot more gain on the output here, in which we never really want that. But being as it how it compressed to me, it sounds okay. What and so me just leave it as is, not overdo anything. So after that, I added a de-esser and use pretty much the same settings on it as I did on every other thing else. Probably sometime I really shift around some things to get it really correct if it is a very sibilant song and the sibilants are really loud, because the microphone that I've been using in the studio, yeah, I just one microphone I have in studio. Yeah, it is best when you have multiple microphones, but if you're on a budget, get a decent microphone. However, the microphone that I have been using is a AKG P420, and it has a boost in the highs. That's why my vocals are really bright, because it's a very bright microphone, And me, for one, I tend to like bright sounds. Yeah, some people like dark, warm sounds and stuff forth, in which it is good. It's just your taste of music, and it is okay. But for me personally, I like bright sounds, and sometimes overdoing some things can make it really harsh. So you have to be careful with dealing with bright sounds. Yeah, a lot of people say, why my sounds are always this bright, really so dark as everyone else. I'm just saying that, hey, I have KRKs just like everyone else. I mixed on Yamaha just like everyone else, and my reference on the JBLs just like everyone else. So I go between the mixture of three speakers. So if it's too bright in the Yamaha, it's definitely bright, because Yamaha speakers are very bright. So if it's too low that it sounds bright on the JBL, something is definitely wrong. And if the low mids not play good, and the bass it's really really bass heavy, the KRK them, something is definitely wrong. So me kind of try to balance between those three speakers, so me know the sound that me really I go for. If it's too bright in a Yamaha, something wrong. If it's too brittle on the JBL, something wrong. And if it's too bass heavy and the low mids muddy on the KRK, something is definitely wrong. So I just summary the program, reference between three speakers, to get the sound I really desire for a particular mix. Me exaggerate on that. Let me play with the de-esser.
If me no have money, better gal a go left. We no see a star run, no never know yet. When money there, footy wall a no come take.
However, when using de-essers, you have to be really careful, because de-esser is just a word, or de-esser is something, but the manufacturer used to brand something, but really and truly de-essers are compressors. It's just that they behave, they designed to behave in a different way than how you would normally see a compressor. But as you can see, in the dynamics section of Pro Tools, dynamics has to do with compressors. So as you can see, trillion and one compressors in here, different manufacturer and different things that I've tried out. A lot of them in a demo mode, same here. So there are a lot of things I'm really tried out. So for instance, Fairchild 670, see compressor behind it, but it is a compressor. Or 660, it is a compressor. So for instance, for argument's sake, dynamic CMA, and you go to de-esser where everyone use, it is in the dynamic section. You have to deal with dynamics, and it is compressor or whatever. Anyways, yeah, we have a tendency to know the words and can't say it, so bear with me. This is how it sounds with the de-esser on it.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money there, footy wall a uno come take. As the money gone, everybody start left.
Alright, so as you can see, that is that. And as me mentioned, 3 key things I'm really used to get clean subtle vocals is when I record too hot, and if it so happen that it record hot, use a trim plugin, then this is the plugin I really use after, you know, if you really get that sound. If you kind of shape the sound, I wouldn't really need, but the process doesn't finish there. I have the vocal bus and I have a mixed bus, and you don't know, you have to go through mastering and all of these things, so it helps add up. So this is how me really start mix from the third quarter of 2019, and hope you can really take something from this mix. So what me go do, me go play with the rest of content there. So with the rest of content, we can really hear what really are going. So turn on all of this and solo all of that, and turn down the speaker, turn it down, or you turn on the headphone in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If me no have money, better gyal a go left. When you see a star run, you never know yet. When money there, footy wall a uno come take. Land boss I represent. I'm money make you the yes so. They said then. I'm money make you the yes so. Both woman and friend me I tell her now. Oh no can't stay loyal to me though. If my money done it well I wanna cut. They said then. If me no have money better gyal a go left. When you see a star run you never know yet. When money there the footy wall I wanna come take. As the money gone everybody start left. If me no have money better say she not stay. She a go lift up like jet a gas space. When money there food in a glass case. As the money gone everybody gone scarce. Watch it, me coulda kick this a different way. Different gal every different day. By time you feel left next gal get stay. But me no want do it cause me love you said we have one thing. Me no know why make your love stray. Money make you do things don't go the next way. Me a see through your clear it's like an x-ray. Can't say no leave your week outside way. If me no have money better gal a go left. When you see a star run you never know yet. When money there footy wall a uno come take.
Beautiful song, produced, mixed, and mastered by Eldorado Productions. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out to really listen all of my babbling. You know, this I hope you can really take something from this particular video that I'm showing you. And I have a lot more content coming up. I was facing a bit of internet issues for around 3 weeks, and it got me so frustrated whenever I really do no tutorial. I'm just mixing like crazy, you know. Cause without my internet, I can't really function in a modern day life. It's like a phone without no internet is not really a phone to me, you know. Why I can't use majority of the features I come with there. I see that on my eyeglass, I play to War Robots game. Yeah, I play video games. Yeah, I play video games. Anyways, it's a boy Eldorado and thing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in again to another magnificent video. Hope you really take something from this. I have a lot more content coming soon, and kind of sticking with them. So, I do them. I want to upload them. Want to build some more rhythm and upload on this particular channel, in which people can see this type of sounds I use, how you can do this and how you can do that. Yeah, because I've seen the views for that other video that I dropped, the squash type beat making, and it got more than what I really expected it would get. And like the idol when I wanted, last time I checked it was at 13,000 views. I don't know if it jumped past that. Last time I remember I checked it before that it was at 4,000, so I didn't really check it. But anyways, it's so that time fly past me. You see it in a 1 year. So I just did a squash type beat over the like and verse for that thing. But anyways, yeah. As we say, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in again. It's a boy Eldorado on this tutorial tip with y'all. And until next time again, peace out.